I'm Greta. Um, I'm from Beijing, China, and I came to USF because I wanted to have a wonderful education during my studying period in USF. And I also love the city San Francisco for its weather, the culture, the people, and of course the restaurants. My major is marketing, and I want to change my major to the hotel management because I'm interested in the business and management. Besides, I want to help my father after I graduating from this university first, and then I want to have my own career. So the plan for the future is going back to China after after I graduating from the university. Today I'm going to tell you 3 stories from the 3 periods in my life. Those 3 stories mean a lot to me, and they influenced me in my personality and the education and my thoughts. I treat these 3 stories as the important turning points in my life, and I will keep the memories in my mind forever. The first story happened when I was 5 years old, and I almost lost my life because of some peanuts got stuck in my throat. And the second story took place when I was 10 years old, and I appeared in a TV show and told a story in a children's show on television. The third story occurred when I was 19 years old. I made an ill-considerate decision, and I left a good university in Beijing. Then I entered into another university. I chose these 3 stories because they are really important for me. I learned a lot from these strong memories, and these important experiences helped me shape my personalities, teach me and guide me for my future. Besides, they made my life flexible and colorful. So firstly, I will tell you a story when I was 5 years old, and I call this story the rebirth in my childhood. I still remember the day my mom sent me to the kindergarten as usual, and she played with me for a while. Then a teacher gave me some peanuts, and I was happy to chew the peanuts. Then suddenly my mom told me that she will leave and talk to other teachers. So I was too young to control my emotions, and then I didn't want my mom leave, so I began crying with some peanuts in my mouth and throat. Then some pieces of the peanuts got stuck in my throat, and I couldn't breathe. So the teacher and my mom were freaked out, and they called the hospital. Then I was sent to the hospital for an operation. And when I grew up, my mom told me that the doctor said if I was sent into the hospital a few minutes late, I might lose my life. And she also told me that she felt guilty and she was afraid of losing me. She told me when I was staying in the hospital after the operation, my father was washing my clothes at home. And although my father is a strong person, he cried because he was afraid of losing me, and she was so worried about me. And then he let his emotion out. So this story is really important for me. If some bad things happened, maybe I won't stand here right now. I really appreciate for my parents for bringing me up. And I know our lives are so important, not only for ourselves, but also for our parents. So I wish I can take effort to have a good future and then pay back to them. Secondly, the story occurred when I was 10 years old, and I named this story My Interesting Experiences in TV Shows. I took part in the recitation class for 3 years, and I met a lot of friends in that class. The two teachers from that class are a couple, and they told me a lot of useful things about how to speak in right ways and how to use our sounds. And we also learned acting, drama, and how to be a host. We joined in many interesting activities, such as acting in some advertisements, giving shows to different audience, and I had a strong memory of recording in a TV show, and that TV show was very popular at that time. I needed to answer some questions from a famous host, Cui Yongyuan, and then I also told a story in a children's show on the television. It was interesting to me to see myself on the television when I was at that age. This story also influenced me, and in my middle school and high school, it was difficult for. I took part in many acting competitions. And it was difficult for me to prepare for the competitions and finish all of my homeworks at the same time. But I loved these experiences no matter how hard they were. Thirdly, the story happened when I was 19 years old, and I called this story an ill-considered decision. I took the university entrance examination when I was 18, and I was accepted by Beijing University of Technology. I was studying English translation major, but I had passion in fashion design at that time. So when I was 19 years old, I made the careless decision. I decided to leave the university and entered in the Beijing Institute of Fashion Technology. Then I found the degree can't be recognized in China because I was studying in an international project. After that, I realized that maybe I made a wrong decision and it may change my life. So, in other words, this was a turning point in my life. So right now, this is the third time I am studying in an university as a freshman, and finally I will become a sophomore in the next semester. Well, all of my friends, my classmates from the high school, have already graduated from their universities and found their jobs. So I learned so much from this experience, and now I always consider aloud before I make any decisions. I also find a better way for my future, and that is studying here and experiencing more things in this beautiful city. In conclusion, I have three important stories from three periods. In my life, I got a rebirth when I was 5 years old. I had many interesting memories of showing on television shows, and when I was 10 years old, I had a turning point when I was 19 years old, and I made an ill-considered decision for my education. I regard these three stories as my precious wealth. I will remember what I learned from these stories in the future, and I will recollect those memories. from time to time. Thank you.